Before the Odyssey even hits theaters, its press tour has already reached Mount Olympus, serving one unforgettable fashion moment after another. It all started with the London photo call on July 5th, where the cast fully embraced the film's mythological world. Zendaya instantly stole attention in a custom white Jacquemus halter gown with a dramatic draped back and a built-in headscarf that looked like it belonged on an ancient Greek statue. Her stylist, Law Roach, even called her the essence of Athena, and it's hard to argue with that. Anne Hathaway took a softer approach, proving maternity style can still be incredibly elegant. Her flowing white blue marine dress had a timeless Grecian feel that subtly echoed her role as Penelope. Lupita Nyong'o also looked stunning in Chanel. The sash, thigh-high slit, and matching pumps made for a gorgeous outfit, although I have to admit, I kind of wish she leaned further into the Helen of Troy inspiration. Still, she looked incredible. Then came the London premiere on July 6th, and somehow everyone managed to raise the bar even higher. Anne glowed in a dreamy blue Dior gown. The flowing pleats and floral bodice gave it this soft, mythical quality that felt both romantic and regal. But Zendaya really came prepared. Her first look, straight from Schiaparelli's Paris runway that very same morning, was pure couture theater. The sculpted white bodice looked almost like futuristic armor, while the shimmering beaded skirt fell like silver rain. And just when you thought she was done, Zendaya changed into a Valentino look that completely shifted the mood. The delicate floral top and softly draped skirt gave full Greek goddess energy. Two completely different looks in one night, and somehow both worked perfectly. Seriously, Law Roach deserves a raise for this press tour. Charlize Theron went sleek in black Givenchy. The dress itself was effortlessly elegant, but those long gloves? I don't know. They looked a little like she had just finished washing the dishes and forgot to take them off. Tell me I'm not the only one who thought that. Meanwhile, Lupita shimmered in a silver Christian Cowan gown with dramatic side cutouts. She honestly looked like she had stepped straight out of moonlit water, and the liquid effect of the dress made it even more striking. Mia Goth quietly delivered one of the evening's prettiest looks in Dior. The white beading looked beautifully textured, while the soft blue flower added just enough color without distracting from the elegance. By July 7th, the tour had moved to Paris, and Zendaya somehow found another way to surprise everyone. She wore a vintage Givenchy design by Alexander McQueen from 1997, a collection inspired by Greek mythology. The sharp white shoulders, rounded hem, and dramatic gold face mask turned the entire outfit into wearable mythology. Honestly, who else could pull that off? Anne continued the theme beautifully in a custom Prada gown, featuring delicate comet-inspired embroidery across a sheer blue overlay. It felt magical without trying too hard. Charlize switched things up with a Tom Ford look by Heider Ackerman. The blazer was stunning, but the satin shorts made it look like business on top, pajamas on the bottom. Lupita, meanwhile, stunned once again in a burgundy Armani Privé gown covered in intricate beading that shimmered like tiny sparks with every movement. And then came the Paris premiere on July 8th, where the cast delivered one more round of unforgettable looks. Anne wore rich chocolate brown Louis Vuitton leather paired with flowing chiffon that drifted around her like smoke. It felt dramatic yet soft at the same time, and honestly, even without knowing the cast list, you'd probably guess she was playing Penelope. Charlize fully leaned into her role as Calypso, wearing a black and white lace peplum gown with all the drama of a sea nymph, while Zendaya floated onto the carpet in a custom Louis Vuitton creation that made Athena look like she had stepped straight out of the clouds. Powerful, graceful, and completely untouchable. Lupita turned up the heat in fiery red Chanel, with intricate lace details that felt worthy of Helen of Troy herself. Meanwhile, Tom Holland, Matt Damon, and Robert Pattinson kept things classic in perfectly tailored suits, choosing timeless elegance while the women's looks took center stage. And honestly, this year's premieres are really delivering when it comes to fashion. Because it's not just the Odyssey. Earlier, Wuthering Heights also turned into a full-on masterclass in method dressing, with the cast stepping into the mood of the story through every detail of their looks. But really, it all began with the LA premiere, and that's where the tone was set. Margot stepped out in Schiaparelli and fully embraced that dark, gothic romance energy. A lace corset, a black to deep red skirt, and just enough drama to feel slightly ominous. And yes, people couldn't stop talking about the Elizabeth Taylor Taj Mahal diamond necklace. Some praised the vintage glamour, while others raised concerns about its historical background, so the reactions were clearly divided. The movie's director Emerald Fennell arrived in this sculptural black gown with sharp structure and red piping details. I loved how the red subtly nodded to intensity without being obvious. It was elegant, but there was edge. That balance feels very on theme for Wuthering Heights. As for Cara Delevingne, she leaned all the way in. Corset, gloves, full gothic glamour. It felt intentional, dramatic, romantic, very much aligned with the dark, emotional atmosphere of the story. And then Charlie XCX and Vivienne Westwood, gold corseted gown, dramatic tulle volume. It had this gothic fairy tale quality, almost theatrical, but still romantic. Alison Oliver, who plays Isabella in the movie, chose a silvery gown at the LA premiere. She looked elegant and ethereal, though the bust detailing slightly interrupted that otherwise romantic energy. Shahzad Latif, who stars as Edgar Linton, really commanded the room in this Maison Margiela coat. The raw, unfinished tailoring and moody palette perfectly captured the story's sense of emotional fracture. Then came Paris, and the mood shifted from gothic to tragic romance. Margot wore Chanel in deep red velvet with a structured silhouette that flowed into a sweeping train over a crisp white skirt. Absolutely stunning. London raised the stakes again. This time Margot chose a sheer custom Delara Fundicolu gown with corsetry and rope detailing, inspired by Victorian symbolism around hair and mourning. And the detail fans can't stop discussing. Robbie paired her look with a replica of Charlotte Bronte's mourning bracelet, originally woven from her sisters Anne and Emily's hair, a thoughtful historical nod. Emerald Fennell appeared in Vivienne Westwood, corseted drama, flowing red tulle, very stormy, very tragic heroine. It felt like a direct visual reference to the emotional chaos of the story. Charlie XCX and Erdem gave us a completely different but equally compelling interpretation of Gothic romance. A blush lace gown paired with a veil, haunting, delicate, almost like a tragic bride. It was softer but still powerful. And Alison Oliver in Miu Miu showed beautiful restraint. Soft blush satin, delicate lace trim, subtle bow details. It echoed the romantic core of Wuthering Heights without overwhelming her. Sometimes restraint can be just as effective as drama. Shahzad Latif and Hermes offered a masterclass in modern tailoring. That vibrant yellow turtleneck injected a sharp energy, while his waxed peak coat felt perfectly atmospheric, a practical yet moody shield against the London rain. Now, we do need to talk about Margot separately, because this press tour felt like a master class in method dressing. She moved from sharp tailoring to full romantic drama effortlessly. Alexander McQueen precision, Delara Fundicoglu boldness, Tom Brown structure, Galliano theatricality, Vivienne Westwood romance. Then shifting into Cavalli's sultry elegance, Margiela's avant-garde artistry, and back to Ashi Studios' dreamy gothic fantasy. And here's the thing, none of it felt random. Every look felt intentional, cohesive, connected to the film's atmosphere. She wasn't just changing outfits, she was exploring different facets of the same story through fashion. As for Jacob Elordi, he kept it simple and understated at every premiere, letting Margot shine and take all the spotlight.